Creative Stampin' Designs. My name is Karen. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Central New Jersey. And just making sure we're actually fairly straight today. All right, if you're hopping in, just say hi, let me know where you're from, or if you're watching the replay. Forgot to pull my scissors out and my bone folder. All right. So we're going to use some new products today. I'm using the Stippled Roses. Hey, Jamie. Thanks for joining. Try to see. Okay, I can see some of the um, comments. My screen is weird, a little weird. Anyway, we're using the Stippled Roses bundle. And these are the dies for it. I did do a little bit of pre-cutting already. And I'm also using the Wanted to Say, and I'm just using the one, You're Too Kind. So that's what we're using today. I know I need this one. All right, just a couple things I wanted to go over real quick. I could show you the covers, but that's all I could show you. These are the new catalogs. I should be getting mine this week. And if you are a customer of mine, they will be going in the mail just as quickly as I can pack them up and get them to the post office. So we got the celebration will be starting for January and February. And then the mini catalog is January to April. All right, but that's all I could show you is the cover. All right. And then there's just a couple other things, and we're going to get started on this card. Okay. I am doing a paper share, a designer series paper share. What it is a sampling of all the DSP that's in the new catalog, and I give you purchase it's $15 for the share, and you'll get a 6x6 piece of each of the designs from each pack of paper. And I don't know if you could see in the picture, I do package it up in a cellophane bag with the name of the DSP, the number, and all the coordinating colors. I'm also doing, I don't have a picture, I'm doing a ribbon share also. And the ribbon share will be a quarter of a roll. So I'll divide the rolls of ribbon in a quarter. And for the baker's twine, you'll get, obviously one of each color. The ribbon shares are $10. And either one of these, it's $8.50 for priority mail shipping. If you want both, it's $25 and the $8.50. It's just one flat price for the shipping. Okay. Then we only have, I think, 4 more days to subscribe for all the best paper pumpkin. And it's 9 cards, and it comes with an acetate box, so it makes a nice little gift. You can put the cards together, put them in the box, put a ribbon around it, and you have a nice little gift. Then, if you are a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, starting in January, they're starting something new. They're going to have coordinating dies. I think it's dies for each one. So these are the dies that'll be for January, come out in January, and you purchase them separately, and they'll coordinate with the January, February, and March paper pumpkins. So I don't know what the paper pumpkins are. I just know the dies that you get. Got the last chance products. If there's things that you wanted from the September to December catalog, grab them now before it's too late. Also, Stampin' Up! Has refreshed their clearance rack, so there's a lot of new things in the clearance rack. If you're not sure, if I have on my blog, creativestampindesigns.com, I do have a link for a printable PDF of the last chance products, and then the products that are carrying over. So I have both of these lists um, on my blog, right? And I think that was it. Let's get started. And I'm missing everybody that. Hi, Barbara and Carol and Joan. Thanks for joining. All right, so everything fell. Like I said, I did some of the pre-cutting ahead of time. It's a super simple card, and it's not a Christmas card. I'm over Christmas. I'm done with Christmas cards now. So I have a panel of pebbled path that is 4¼ by 11, and I scored it at 4¼ and 5½. So I am gonna fold it in half. I'm making a book fold card. It's a nice, simple, quick card. You want something that has that little, something different. Or if you want to do a card that's kind of a square front, this is perfect for it. All right. So we're going to start by adhering right in here together. So it would be like the binding of the book. Using some liquid glue because I want it to hold. Good press. And that's it with the fold. Super simple, but it's just a little different. Now, I do have panels of the softly stippled DSP, and it's just not marble. Kind of reminds me of spackle almost. So it's just got it's more white with just a tint of the pebbled path in it. And I'm going to adhere it to a real red mat. Oh, oops. And all the measurements will be on my blog on Friday. All right, and then I have another small panel that's only, I think, 1" by 4". And we're just going to adhere that to a real red mat also. These little ones are the ones I have trouble getting centered. And that's why I usually use liquid glue. Okay. Then I am going to adhere, I'm using liquid glue now. I'm going to adhere these to the card front. So this will go on the binding part. And then this one will go just on as the card front. Just like that. Okay, and what I did do ahead of time is I die cut the You're Too Kind. So this is in pebbled path and the real red, and this is just the like the bubble around it. And I used adhesive sheets because I didn't want to play with liquid glue on all these little letters. So I'm just gonna hear that right. Sure. These adhesive sheets are great when you have, whether it's words or something, something real fine, like leaves or anything. Look at how quick they go together. And I'm not sitting here with the glue making a mess, because we all know that's what would have happened with these. Oops. And oops, everything's moving all over on me. hold it a little. There we go. Okay, that's all done. Now we're going to do the rose, then I'll put everything together. And I'm using this small rose only because there's not a lot of room. So I just wanted something really simple. And I'm doing the marker to um, stamp technique, right? But what happened is I pulled my marker out and my marker's a little dried up. So I got my ink pad and I'm just kind of tapping it just to get the ink from the ink pad. And hopefully this is going to work. I went to stamp it before to see how it would look, and my marker, there was nothing. And of course, there wasn't enough time to order something and get it. So I pulled out my ink pad, and I figured I'm just going to tap the marker in it and pick the ink up from that. I like this technique with, well, flowers and all, if I don't want to color the whole thing in. So I'm just going over just the rose part. Let's see if I can get a little darker just in the center. And then I'm going to use my Granny Apple Green marker, and that one was not dried up. Just go over the leaves. And what I'm going to do, because it's sitting here in the air, I want to reactivate the ink. So you're just going to give it a good huff. And just, we're going to hope that that stamped okay. Go. So it's got color, but it's not too much. But I'm not really, did I get all the color? Yeah, I did. Okay. And I know I took the dye out because I said I'm going to need this dye. Oh, and it fell. Set it. Oh, there it is. Oh, got me nervous there. So I'm just going to cut the rose out. I'm going to get a little piece of my Post-it note tape just to hold it in place while I'm cutting, since I am never fails. As soon as I go over to the die cutting machine, it moves. So just hold that in place and I'll be right back. And there we go. So now we're just going to assemble everything. And I'll show you. I die cut. I used the leaves from the die and I pre-cut those in Granny Apple Green. And what I did is I poked out all the pieces because they come out. I used my Granny Apple Green marker to go over them just to make them a little darker, and then I just put tear and tape on the back to hold them in place so when I glue it down. So I have two leaves that I did already. Let me just grab dimensionals. Just going to put some dimensionals on the words. Pop those up. We're going to pop the rose up, and the leaves are I'm going to glue the leaves down under the rose. And I just want to make sure that the dimensionals are We're going to put one here and one there. Just want to make sure this is going to stay down. I don't want it to get caught on anything. Let's get a couple for the rose. All right. I'm going to put the words on first so I know the room that I have. And I'm just going to put dimensional stuck to my hand. Just going to put this right at the top. Try to get it centered the best I can. There we go. I'm going to put the rose like this. I'm going to glue one down this way and one, and actually I'll be able to do it. I can put the rose down first. I'm not going to press it though in case I do have to lift it up. And actually, you know what? I can use, since the tear and tape is on here, let's see if I can get it off. Might as well take advantage of using the tear and tape since I put it on to hold my pieces in place. So that whole piece is coming off. I don't know how it is by you, but it's cold here. It's windy. Of course, right before I went live, the dog had to go out. Like, great, have to get all bundled up. I do not like the cold. I like it if I could just stay in and not have to go outside at all, but the only way to get to work for me is to go outside. There we go. Gonna just stick this under the rose a little. Okay, so I wasn't even planning on using the tear and tape. I was going to just use some liquid glue, but it was a better idea. Just a matter of getting it off. That's what's taking. Sorry. Because they're little pieces. The big pieces I can get up no problem. It's these little ones. There we go. And I'm just going to put this one over this way. That, and I have a couple of embellishments. I have some of the iridescent pearls. See, I remembered everything today to get out. And I'm going to put a couple extra. We'll put 5 today. That's the card front. Oh, one other thing. All right, so I do have a piece of, because I didn't want to leave the end plain. So I have a piece of the Pebble Path jute twine. And what I'm going to do, hopefully this is going to work. I'd like to make just a little tiny niche. And if I can't get this in, I'm going to use my paper snips. But I'm going to try to get it Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark a, let me try to, excuse me. I'm going to make a little pencil mark, just so I have an idea of where the center is. And if I don't punch the pencil mark out, I can always erase it. So I just want to, I don't think this is going to go in. I think it's too thick. Yeah, that's too thick. Okay, we're going to use my snips and just cut a tiny little notch. I think it's because I have so many layers here. I just want this to hold the twine in place. That's all I'm doing this for. There we go. So that it doesn't slip off. I'm going to do one at this end too. Better move my finger because I can just see that cutting. Last thing I want to do is cut my finger live. Come on. That should be good. And then just erase those little pencil marks so you don't see them, even though the twine's going to cover them up. And just going to wrap a piece and tie a little bow. And this will hold it. This will stay right in place. I mean, you could put a glue dot under the bow if you want so it stays, but as long as you give it a good tug when you're, when you're tying it, it'll stay right in the little notches. I need a third hand here today. I could tie bows without help, but for some reason I need help with the twine. Okay. I'm just going to pull that, trim it off. Make the bow smaller and I can trim it a little more then. And you could slide it, you could put it wherever you want. So if you want it more toward the top, it should slide easily. Not too easily though, obviously. Okay. Gonna leave it be. Let's do the inside real quick. Oops. As I'm moving everything all over. And for the inside, I have sending thanks. And that is from the Stippled Roses set. And I'm going to stamp it in Pebbled Path. Really going to try to get this straight. And I'm going to go up a little bit so I have room to write. Not happy with that. We'll do it again. There we go. Better. I think the ink smeared a little when I went down. I even got it straight. So let me just sort of flatten that. And then I'm going to just put the rose again, just on the inside. So we're going to do that. Same technique again. I'm going to use my ink pad again to make sure my marker is wet. I know there's a way of re-inking these markers. I've tried it. It has not worked for me. And some of my this is an older marker. They came out with the new markers with the really nice tips on it. So I think that's on my list to, I need to replace a lot of my markers. Get the bottom there. And then come back with the garden, oops, wrong end. The garden green. Let's give it another huff, and I'm just going to put this one just off to the side. Near this. To a real red mat, and then we're going to put it on the inside. We'll do the envelope and we'll be done. A nice simple thank you card. And I'm not paying attention to comments here. Sorry. Thank you, Carol. Thank you, Joan. All right, and then the envelope, I did already stamp the rose on the front. That's where I was practicing. Another piece of the paper on the envelope. Make sure it's not too far. This isn't too thick, because sometimes when you close the envelope, it doesn't fold all the way down if it's too thick of a card. So I like to just come down just a hair. But this one should be fine because this is a pretty flat card. All right, there we go. It was pretty simple and quick. Okay. I am planning on being here next Wednesday, but I'm going to have to see how timing is because next week I am going to be starting my baking, so I have to make sure I have everything, all my ingredients, and also if I have to run to the store or get anything that I may not. So just watch. I'll post something if I'm gonna, if I'll be live, I will post the time and all. So I'll plan on seeing you next week unless either I get stuck at work or have to run to the store to get everything to get all my baking going. Thanks for joining, and I hope to see you next week. Have a good week, everybody. Thanks. Bye-bye.